Hey VC, everyone, welcome to my channel. Tony here. Tony's LPs are us. We're in Studio E where we have the Elvis light lit, so we are rolling. This is kind of a take on what I've been watching the last couple of weeks. It's the end of December. New Year's right around the corner. People are doing their end of 2024 favorite, best of, most analog, most audiophile box sets. And they're getting a lot of views, so I wanted to do something similar. I wanted to do 2024 box sets, but I don't even know what box sets I have from 2024 except for a few, except for like this one I know. A lot of my box sets, I keep them in the same area. And I'm going to give you two reasons why I keep them in the same area. Because I love them. They're accessible. They're not mixed in with the Beatles. They're mixed in with some of my box sets. And the reasons I'll pull box sets is when someone comes over, someone who maybe is not an audiophile, doesn't listen to records. Then I have the audiophile friends that come over that do listen to records. But in each of those categories, my job is to play something that they're going to enjoy and something that they're going to say, wow, that really sounds great. That's the whole thing about our systems. When someone says, wow, that's the best I've ever heard it, you feel good. They feel good. They go away thinking, man, he has a good rig. You know, my rig's a moderate rig. It's not one of those huge rigs, but it's all tubes. I've got everything placed correctly. I think I have Bowers and Wilkins's speakers. But my point is, when I do like playing DJ for people, the box sets come in handy because some of them are 45 cut. You know, the analog productions, the one steps, and that way you could play cuts. If you want to play Hotel California, you get that one step, and you play Hotel California, and they're blown away by that. They've never heard Hotel California that good for the most part. Some have, but I would say 90% of people who come over listen to music with me or relatives or friends or my kids' friends, they haven't heard that. So I do the box sets because they sound great for the most part, especially the one steps and the analog productions and these audiophile box sets. So I'm going to go over what I played the most in 2024, and that's the box sets that I pulled off the shelf, and I play it for my enjoyment, and I'll play it when someone's coming over, and I know someone's coming over. I'll pull that box set. I'll have it ready. You want to hear Beatles. You want to hear Tull. You know, I have these box sets. And like I said, the cool thing about that is, you know, they're going to sound great. You know, they're not going to have any top pops or ticks or anything like that. These records are usually pressed meticulously. I clean all my records anyway. I don't think I have any records that really pop and tick that I'll play that will annoy someone. There's always going to be that occasional tick, but it's not going to be, wow, that sounds like, you know, popcorn going off for Rice Krispies. But these are some box sets. They're not in any order. There's maybe 12 or 13. I pulled some that I didn't put in this set. I actually mentioned the Eagles one step, but I didn't pull that. So I'm going to go over some of these and explain why they're so cool and why I picked these box sets. Now, it's obvious why I picked this box set. This is definitely a 2024. This is my last, I believe, my last box set. I don't even know. But my last box set, this is the Capitol US records that the Capitol people kind of cherry picked from these babies, the British Beatles. And this is a great box set in its own right. This sounds good. This is mono. This is how folks heard it in mono in '64. This is great. If you don't have this box set, I recommend this. I play this for people and they go, wow, that's mono. They can't even tell that it's mono because their frequencies are all over the place. They're so well done, but they're not as well done as this mono. This mono box set with, I believe, 16 records in it. This has, I'll hold that up so you could see. But these are tremendous. These are audiophile records compared to the Beatles Capitol, which I don't consider audiophile, but they have that great sound. They have that sound that we all knew when we were growing up, or people are older than me when they were growing up with how they heard, the Beatles. But this is the British, just fantastic mono mixes from the original masters. 11 albums, pressed on heavyweight 180 vinyl, replicas of the original LP sleeves and artwork. The original masters compilation released on vinyl for the first time. This was a box set that if you didn't buy it, you're now crying it, because, as you know, this box set's out of print. Has a nice slipcase. Has all the records in there, as you could see. Just to pull one out as an example. Press-on label, press-on jackets. Replicated down to the wire. Just magnificent. So, if someone wants to hear Beatles, I'll show them this Meet the Beatles, and then I'll show them the Capitol Meet the Beatles, now that I have that Capitol Meet the Beatles. So I'll do that. And they are floored. They are definitely floored. Okay. And like I indicated, these aren't in any order. This is a great sounding set. 33 1/3, but still sounds good. Still sounds great. Axis Bold is Love. UHQR. Here's all the accoutrements. I even put in my box the catalog that I received from Analog Productions before this record was released. Here's the actual memorabilia that I keep. I'm a collector. I'll keep things like that if I have a spot to keep them. If I don't have a spot to keep them, I still keep them, but then I can't find them. So here you have a beautiful replication of this jacket, and I reviewed this on my channel. I have it somewhere. This gatefold hasn't even been cracked. It's just, I don't like to crack the great gatefolds. Here's the record on translucent, high quality vinyl. Just sounds great. So if someone wants to hear Hendrix, all of my Hendrix legacy albums, for the most part, are just recorded well, transferred well, cut well. But this one just sounds super. So I'll play that for people if they like Hendrix. If they like the Doors, I'll pull out this box set. If they like LA Woman, I'll pull out this box set. This was a last year record store day, the LA Woman Sessions. This is number 10,996. I don't know how many were produced. Can always go by what's on the jacket or the label. But this is great. This is 4 LPs. And you hear the boys in the band just going through the phases of the albums, of the album of LA Woman. The Changeling, Love Her Madly. There's 19 minutes of LA Woman. There's another track in LA Woman, Riders on the Storm. Just as they go through and it's so well, it sounds just so good. So I'll put on a couple of tracks on this, and people are floored. They just love it. That's one I play all the time when people come over in 2024. Now this one, can't go wrong. Rated, I think now, #1 album on 500 Rolling Stone Best Albums. Maybe #1 now. That number changes. Used to be, I think, Sgt. Pepper's. Used to be Pet Sounds. It goes back and forth. But this is a contender for definitely top 5 albums of all time. This is 7,500. This is number 1,500. The beautiful and thoughtful, thought-provoking, still relevant today. We still have wars all over the world, still relevant today, where people's children are going off to war, and they don't come back the same way. They definitely don't come back the same way. But what's going on was groundbreaking for music in general, but specifically for Motown and this type of like soul music that Motown was producing. Marvin Gaye said, "I'm going to do something that's important. I'm not just going to do, another silly love song," as Paul McCartney once said. But This is the best you're going to hear it unless you have a reel-to-reel. So I play that. I'll play What's Going On. I'll play a cut of that. I won't play the whole album. That's what's good about these 45s. You can put on a record, sit down for 10 minutes. You're ready for the next track as you play DJ. Here's another. This is one of my faves. This is a 45 RPM, 2-record set from Analog Productions, UHQR of Aqualung. Aqualung never sounded better, although there are a couple new remixes I like, the Allen remixes I like, but this just sucks you in. This sucks you in. So someone wants to hear Aqualung, or someone wants to hear Locomotive Breath, I would play. That's one of them I'll play in 2024. The box sets just keep piling up. Now, another guy who never goes out of style, and there's actually a new movie about him called The Complete Unknown. That's Blood on the Tracks. I love this. This is him in the room. This is a stripped down, not stripped down, but just organic. The record itself to me is stripped down. Even the original record, it's for the one I have, sounds great, which is amazing because I believe each side is over 20 minutes or around that. So I might be wrong, but around 20 minutes. So it's a long LP, a long player, but it still sounds good. Whoever mastered it and whoever did the cutting and mastering and then transferred it to vinyl through that process just sounds great. So this is 9,000. These are sold out. This is 5904. Blood on the Tracks. This and Desire, a couple of my favorite Dylan records. He's current right now. Dylan's never not current. I saw him this year with the family, and for some reason, he was in good voice. He sounded great. It's one of those few Dylan. This was this year when he was with the Willie Nelson people, and he was with Alison Krauss and Robert Plant. It was just a great show. Unfortunately, no one got up and did We Are the World together, which would have been cool. They just did their own thing, but Dylan sounded so good. I didn't want Dylan to end his set. Usually I want Dylan to end his set the last 10 or 15 years on and off. It depends. But I've seen Dylan a number of times. Now here's another guy, for me and for most, never go out. So in 2024, I pulled this out. I pulled out a lot of these the other day for Christmas. People were over. I played cuts. It's people talking. But, after some folks left, we went into my listening area and we listened to this. And I remember my one friend said, "Well, that sounds great." And it was Suspicious Minds. And this record is great. It's the from Elvis in Memphis, when he did stuff he wanted to do, stuff he wanted to sing. The Colonel really didn't have didn't have Elvis at that time under his grasp, where he was telling him what songs to pick. Elvis and the producer picked these tunes. It was with Memphis session guys that were top of the line. It's so well done. It's so cool. It comes with a facsimile. As you know, I just showed you a MoFi one step for people who haven't seen it. This is a 45 cut. Here's the hype sticker. And this is the actual album from the original master, from the original MoFi. That's the rear. And what you have on here is Wearing That Love. If you don't know this record, this is Elvis at his best. This is Elvis, a mature Elvis. It's not necessarily rock and roll. It's country rock or whatever, or it's just Elvis. Elvis is not really, at this point, you can't categorize him. Wearing That Loved On Look, Only the Strong Survive, Long Black Limousine, It Keeps Right On Hurting, I'm Moving On, The Power of My Love, Gentle on My Mind, True Love Travels on a Gravel Road, which is like, I could almost I could almost hear the gravel in his vocal that he's trying to portray, where, you know, Any Day Now, of course, In the Ghetto is on here, which was a something Elvis wanted to do. He wanted to do like a message type of song. And this, I believe, was in the original. This little 8x10 of the man himself. I don't have an original. I do have this record. Could be an original, but it doesn't have the 8x10 in it. But I play this. I just played it the other day, and I got that response. That sounds great. That sounds good, because that's what you want. Because a lot of Elvis records, you know, didn't have the sonics. They were just mass produced. Who knew what press you even had off the, you know, from the lacquer? Who knows back in the day? The early Elvis records sound great. The mid records not so great, especially if you get a you know, like a Camden Elvis record, which you see at flea markets and stuff. They're not going to sound great. This one is one that I played again because everyone knows Thriller. No one's heard Thriller quite this thrilling, even though it's close to the original. My original copy sounds great, but, you know, the other night I played Beat It with Van Halen, playing the sonic guitar, and it's just great. And apparently I played it last year because of someone that was over for Christmas said, "Oh, you played that last year." So these are records that I constantly pull to impress and to satisfy myself, because I know they're going to sound good. You know, if someone is coming over to see your system for the first time, or for the third time, or after a long period of time, you just don't want to put on a record that doesn't have that oomph that's going to give him that, when they walk away, when they get in the car, they're going to say, "Man, that was really a good session that Tony played on his system. He had it swinging." And what I'll do is, I don't have anything preconceived. If I play this, I may go into something that's similar, or if I'm doing the Beatles, like I said, the Capitol and the British, I'll do that. I'll put them in some type of order. I'll have some type of concept. You know, Aqualung is different from Elvis, but Aqualung, you know, Locomotive Breath is just great wherever, okay? So, got more. Don't hold it right there. We're almost done. Just a couple more. And it's not a typical 2024 box set, best of 2024. This is best of what I played in 2024. Now, this is one of my favorites because I love Chicago, and this is the Record Store Day, I believe, from last year, maybe 2023. This is pressed in Germany. This is a Live at Carnegie Hall, April 9th, 1971 box set. Here's the hype sticker. But I put this on, and people are wowed. It may not be audiophile, but for me, it just sounds great. They did a super job. This was a bargain at, I believe, $60 or so. Yeah, $60 for this set with the poster. Just great. And of course, I always go back to Beatles, and I like to pull out a Beatle box set, not be it only a Beatle box set of all their records, but a specific box set that actually studies a record. And this is the great Let It Be 5 LP edition. Now, what's cool about this is new mixes by Giles Martin and Sam Okell. There's 2 LPs of outtakes, jams, rehearsals, studio chat, plus the Get Back album, 69, the original mix by Glenn Johns. That's a revelation in itself. So you get to hear what that original Let It Be album actually looked like and what it actually sounded like as far as sequencing. A 180 grand, 100-page hardback book, track by track. You know, just great. I also think this has a It might have a 45 RPM in it, which I'm not sure. That might be the Revolver. The Revolver's another one, which I didn't pull, that has a Don't Let Me Down on 45 RPM. That just knocks your socks off. And this is great. This is a die cut. You can see that there. And if you don't have these box sets, from what I've seen online, a lot of these were made in such quantity that they're still around, and you may be able to pick these up for less than $100. You know, I'm not sure of that specific one, but I remember even Amazon may have them on sale, or some record shops and things. But that's fantastic. I have all the Beatle box sets. I'll probably do a show just on the Beatle box sets. We're almost down to the wire. These are heavy, and that's a pun intended. These are heavy. They weigh a ton, but they're heavy as far as what the music has. This one is great. Did a number of one steps for Paul Simon. I've got There Goes Rhymin' Simon, I believe, or the one with Still Crazy After all these years is this one. But the one where 100 Ways to Leave Your Lover, that just sounds great. I don't remember the title, but 45 RPM, Paul Simon. This is 8,000 made, a 905 number I have. But one of my favorites, I pulled this out. Everyone knows Still Crazy. Everyone knows the hits off of this. There's multiple hits. And the last one is a great one. I've had this a number of years. I pull it out because it has a rich, organic sound. Notwithstanding, the originals all sound great, even though the majority of them are digital. And that's Dire Straits. This early box set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 records. And it has a double record, which is this one there at the end. You can see that. But a really cool box set. Still have the shrink on it. Sounds great. I had a few issues with it as far as ticks, but I cleaned it, kind of got most of them out of the way. And like I said, when someone is around, I'm not going to play the album. I'm playing cuts. Dire Straits, Sultans of Swing, Love Over, Gold, or, just things like that. And here's this one that's kind of obscure. This is On Every Street. I didn't have this as an OG. I had all the rest of them. So this was really good. This was a Christmas present a few years ago from Big John. But yeah, that's what I do. I'll pull out a box set. Everyone loves Dire Straits. People have never heard Dire Straits. Most people that I know might. It's weird. There's only a few of us crazies that are analog and audiophile people that will actually take the time, spend the money, go through the ritual, take care of your records, get a static gun, get cleaning fluid, get a record cleaner, a record vacuum cleaner, or an ultrasound cleaner. Your average Joe is going to listen to records while they're doing the dishes or, reading the paper. I listen to music. When I listen to records, I'm listening to records. I'm not reading a book. I'm not doing my nails. I'm not making dinner. I'm in that room. I'm listening to it. And that's what I try to convey when someone comes over. So that's what these are. These aren't in any order. But I hope you, get to pick up one or two of these, because if you don't have them, they're available in some form. Like I said, I believe the Beatles, Let It Be, may be a bargain right now for what's in that. Some of these box sets are obscure now. Like I know the Dire Straits probably isn't even in print, so you have to get that from an eBay line or a record store or whatever. But that's basically it. Hope you like this one. My box sets I pulled the most in 2024. Keep rocking. Thanks a lot for all the subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed, please consider it. Really helps us out. But overall, I thank everyone for dropping by. And I know I've said this on a few other videos the last couple of days. Wish everyone a Happy New Year. And hopefully I'll see you before New Year. But if not, Happy New Year and keep rocking. and listen to and watch VC channels. Subscribe to these people. They put a lot of time in their content. Some of these young guys on VC are doing great, are really talented. They really have records that I don't know about, which is fun. So subscribe, keep supporting them, and it really helps everybody out. So thanks a lot. Happy New Year. See you later. Ciao.